Hey guys, happy Thanksgiving. Today I just wanted to get on here really quick and share with you 15 reasons that I'm thankful this year and really every day throughout the year. These are just the basic things that come to mind when I think of things to be grateful for. Number one being my husband, who is the most supportive, loving partner I can imagine having. I'm so thankful that he works so hard every day, sometimes 12, 16 hours a day, to make sure that I can be here with our children and raise them. And even when he is home, when he's not working, he is such a great dad and hands-on parent. And we have a very egalitarian relationship. He is constantly helping out with things around the house and trying to be helpful in general and asking what he can do to make my life easier and just cheering me up when I'm down, cheering me on when I am feeling defeated. He loves my family and they love him, and he just makes life easier and makes life more full and well-rounded and just so different than it was before we were together. He just makes things more fun and easier, and sometimes even the really hard stuff seems effortless because I know that we're in it together and that no matter what, we're on each other's team and we're on the same team looking out, and that makes things easier, knowing that not only are you not physically alone, like emotionally, you have a partner that is really there for the thick and the thin of all of it. So not to go on and on about that, but that is the number one thing. And without him, the rest of it really wouldn't fall into place or exist probably in the way that it does, in the way that we do. So thank you, Ellie. Number two on my list goes hand in hand with my husband working so hard to make sure that we have everything that we need and a lot of what we want by working so hard at his job, is being a stay-at-home mom. I am so glad that I was able to quit my day job and not have a part-time job or night job even, and be able to stay home and devote my time and attention to raising my two girls. I waited till pretty late in the motherhood years to decide that I wanted to have children and that I was committed to that, but I always felt that if and when that day came, that I wanted to do it the way I wanted to, which was to be able to be home and me raise them and me teach them and just have that time to really savor every moment with them. And especially after having Brexley, and I guess after the second child, it just flies by so much quicker, it seems like, than it did with Blair. It makes me even more thankful because with Blair, it's like she made me a mother, and so everything with her was the first time, and everything was just the very first. And with Brexley, you know, they say like your second child sometimes gets lost in the mix. But with her, it's like she is the second child and it's not the first. But with her, it's like this is the last. Like this is the last baby I will breastfeed, and this is the last child I will like cheer on when they're rolling over for the first time and we're trying to make them laugh for the first time. This is also the last. So you savor it and you're so excited about it in a whole different way than your first child, but it's an equally special way. So number three goes hand in hand with that, is I am so grateful and thankful to have two beautiful, healthy baby girls. I'm so grateful for them. They give my life a new meaning and purpose and perspective, and everything feels new again. And just watching them grow so far, I mean, it even like brings so much nostalgia of my own childhood and so many memories of things that I experienced as a child, and just the excitement and fun and wonder of it all that you have as a child. I'm starting, you know, to remember again as I watch them discover things. Like Blair has started wanting to hide behind one of the chairs in the living room, and she thinks it's the coolest little thing to find like a little nook to just tuck herself away in and play with a toy or read a book. And it made me remember going to my grandparents' house, and there were 2 chairs in the corners, kind of like in my living room, and how we would climb over the back of the chairs and hide back there, and it felt like a little clubhouse or something. That was our own. Simple things like that, just being able to experience all of these first things again with them and through their eyes and their perspective is just, I don't know, man, it's like the ultimate. It makes me really sad to think that one day they'll be grown and that won't be the case anymore. They have really changed my life 100% and for the better. My life before having children was fun and great, and you know, your education and your career and your friends and your trips and like all of those things were great, and I'm so glad that I had all of those life experiences before I decided to have children. But at some point through all of that, I kind of felt like, okay, I've done all of these things, and what is it all for? Like, what was all of this hard work for? Building a life and trying to achieve things, like, I'm good, you know, like I want someone to share that with. Just got to a point where you don't, for me anyway, it was like, I don't want to go on another trip with like my partner and just do these same things over and over again. I think it would be cool to like take my kids somewhere for the first time and see them experience something. So it's just a different mindset, and it's pretty cool. Next would be recovering from pregnancy and not having any postpartum depression so far. I mean, I guess that could still happen. Sometimes it happens later, delayed kind of onset, especially like as you wean off from breastfeeding and stuff. But so far so good, and especially going into the fall and winter season, I'm just thankful to not be feeling any of that kind of baby blues or postpartum depression that I kind of felt like I was fighting off after I had Blair, and this time it seems to be better. So I'm really thankful for that, and just thankful in general that I am recovering well from the pregnancy, that my back is not any worse off than it is, that so far I'm able to pick my kids up and down and get in the floor and play, and that ibuprofen gets me through it, and that it's not like a major issue. I'm also extremely grateful for my puppies, and I call them puppies even though they are officially over 10 years old. Macy turns 10. Well, the date that I got her would be in July, but I guess her birthday would really have been in May. She turns 10. And Dante, we don't really know his full history. They were both rescues, but I did get Macy when she was only, I think, about 6 weeks old, maybe 8 weeks old. And Dante, though, they tried to estimate what his age was. He was abused. He was in a shelter, and then someone adopted him, and then they rehomed him, and someone adopted him from a mall, and he was in a rehab for 6 months, and all of these things. And then I got him finally from that situation and have loved and cherished him ever since. And he's been with me now for, I think, 8 years. So they think that he probably is older than Macy, so he's probably more like 12. But they light up my life. They were my children before my human babies came. I always said if I could have grown them inside of me, given birth to them, I would have. And that may sound crazy to some people, but I still stand by that. I love them. I'm so thankful for their health, and that every vet visit is a good visit, and that their blood work's good, and their hearts are good, and that it seems like they have a lot more years left with us. Health-wise, I'm also really, really grateful for my mom's health. I don't think I've shared this on my channel, and I don't know how much my mother would want me to share, if at all. So I will just say that my mom, who also was a breast cancer survivor, is a breast cancer survivor, was diagnosed with another form of cancer, and a very much way more serious level than previously, a separate form of cancer. And she did opt for treatment, and she did complete all of her chemo, and then she completed a form of radiation on top of that that is more of a preventative, or they don't call it preventative, they call it prophylactic form of radiation, and she just completed that. And I am extremely proud of her, and I'm extremely happy that so far everything looks good, and that she is here. We're going to be able to continue making memories, and she's going to be able to continue making memories with my girls, and they're going to have their meme in their life. I'm very, very thankful for that. On the same token, I'm very thankful for my dad's health. My dad, I don't think, has gone to the doctor since he finished his service in the Navy, which was so many years ago. But he just keeps on chugging along, and he actually, my mom and him came for a weekend, and then he actually stayed for a week and a half with me after my mom left, which is the first time in the history that he and I have ever gotten to spend that much time together, just pretty much on our own. Me and my husband was here but working, and then us with the girls, and I absolutely loved it. I was so thrilled. I got to work on a vehicle with my dad some, and just got to eat dinner with dad every night and talk and play with the girls and watch him, you know, spend time with my daughters and form relationships and memories with them, and I wouldn't trade anything for it. I'm hoping that him and mom will both be back together to visit again soon. Very, very happy for that. I'm also thankful in general that I have a family to go home to for Thanksgiving today, and a wonderful extended family of aunts and uncles and cousins who I love and adore, and who just always, you know, we can always get around each other and just pick up where we left off. Like no time has passed, even if it's been like a year since I've seen them. And I have some really close aunts and cousins that have really been there for me, especially through like my aunt that came for the birth of Brexley and taking care of Blair during that, and just very, very, very thankful and very excited to go see them today. I'm actually recording this today on Thanksgiving, and so we will be leaving after this to actually go have dinner and visit with all of them, and I'm so grateful for that. Next, I am thankful to live in such a beautiful place. I live in the Southeast US, and I am so thankful for the weather and the beauty and all of the grand oak trees and the wildlife where I live, and even just where my house is, how beautiful it is. Very, very thankful to live in one of the most beautiful places in the world. One of the places they say is a top place to visit or vacation in the world. Very grateful to live here. And on that same note, I'm very grateful that hurricane season is almost officially over. And that even though we had to evacuate this year, and even though we had a couple of other storms that grazed us on top of that, that we didn't suffer any major damage this year. That's always a big fear every year, and I always feel so bad for all of the people that do suffer damage, and we always just wish the storms would just go back out into the ocean and away from anyone's coastline. But unfortunately, it seems like every year they're worse and worse, so I'm just really glad to be approaching the end of hurricane season. Also, on that note, thankful for our home and our vehicles and just the security and stability, that we have everything that we need, that we have the resources to take care of our children, to provide them with you know, happy holidays. And with Christmas coming up, I'm thankful that we're able to make sure that they will have a good Christmas with material as well as family time, both of those things, traditions and also material gifts. I mean, I'm very, very grateful that we will be able to do that, and that we don't have to stress so much during the holidays. I said earlier, thankful for my children's health, and I am thankful that I was able to breastfeed both of my children, and I'm thankful that I was able to breastfeed Brexley as long as I was. She is having to do most all formula now because she just wasn't getting the weight like she needed to. Both of my children are just very petite. I was very tiny and petite my whole life until my first pregnancy. And we had to do a quick battery change there, of course, because I love starting off filming with almost dead batteries all the time. But I was petite as a child, and so that's just the nature of it. So we did have to add more calories into what Brexley was getting fed. So we have to like mix high calorie formula for her, and we're having to supplement more. And so even though I didn't have the perfect breastfeeding journey that I wanted to, that was my goal, I'm so glad that I've been able to have the one that I've had. Also, 13th on this list, I am thankful for the friends that I have near and far, and some of my really best, closest friends are so far away. And I am thankful for all of the friends that I've had and that I have currently, and all of the friends that I've lost. And I have lost a great number of friends who are no longer with us, and I think about all of them often, and I am thankful always when I think of them for all of the memories that we made together, and for the way that they touched my life, and how even though they're no longer with us, they live on and on and on truly in the memories and the life experiences that we had together. So, and on that note, 14th, I am thankful for all of the life experiences and the memories and the lessons learned that I have had in my own life. It seems like you live a million different lives, you know, during one lifetime. And I'm thankful for all of those, the good and the bad, the easy and the difficult, the successes and the failures. I'm very thankful for all of those experiences that have shaped me and that have shaped my perspectives on things, and that have allowed me to have a greater sense of empathy and compassion and understanding and consideration for others. I hope to pass those traits on to my children, and I hope to continue to express those things in life. Even though things are, you know, more on the upswing for us these days, I hope that I never forget the experiences that taught me those values. And finally, I am very grateful this year that we finally overcame our fear and our procrastination and just took the plunge and started this YouTube channel. And I am extremely thankful for any of you who are watching this video now or later, and who are sticking with us and subscribing and liking and commenting and just showing your support. You will never know how much that means to me every day when there's a new subscriber. At this point, I count them one by one, and I am excited for all of you to join us, and I am excited for more interaction and engagement with all of you, and to just see where this takes us, slowly but surely. And I hope that each and every one of you has a whole lot of things to be thankful for this year, and that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and that you get to spend it with family and friends. I'll see you later. Bye.
Yes, we will keep it steady. We will be the confetti. And if we fail, we just reboot. We just reboot.